Hi YouTube, it's been a while, hasn't it? Well, I had to move for some personal reasons that I don't want to get into, but what's hilarious is during the move I found a book. And it's by a YouTube user I used to make fun of, and I'll link that video then in question in the description box. But the user called Whatever Happened to Common Sense. This is a YouTube user known as Elmer Williams. He wrote a book, and I basically ended up buying it simply because I wanted to see how much lulz it is. And I was going to do a book review of it, but I never got around to uploading it. So I'm going to do that video now, as a sort of 200 subscriber torture fest. Because the book is literally titled, Whatever Happened to Common Sense. It's not even grammatically correct. And the whole book is full of things like this. Literally, this is the cover page on the inside. It's a webcam photo of him, then by new author Elmer Williams. And let's go over some stuff on the back cover. Common sense is something that we are all born with, but often forget to use it. I would compare having common sense and not using this God-given gift to having a life jacket aboard the Titanic, yet refusing to put it on. Well, most people would think, oh, if I'm going to be, ship sinking, I might want to put on a life jacket. I think most people who, died on the Titanic didn't have life jackets. But anyway, life jackets when the ship is sinking is kind of common sense too. So it's kind of like a tautology to me. But anyway, we should challenge our Congress to use reasonable thinking when they pass laws. I never heard of anyone going, we're going to raise the tax on cigarettes to 1,000% because the sky is blue. They might do it because Amendum's a moron, but anyway. The YouTube user... Never mind. Not explaining that. We should demand that they use logic when dealing with terrorists. I'm sorry, Abu Zubaydah, that is a red herring. And corruption in the government. Vote Quimby. The White House has become a symbol of corruption with the American people, and I believe that taxpayers are sick of it. Just more grammatical correctness. Just look at how some of our politicians in Congress has sided with the Occupy Wall Street crowd. This is nothing more than Woodstock resurrected all over again, and resurrected is capitalized for no reason. Barack Obama and the entire White House staff have become nothing more than a band of terrorist leaders. Whose middle name is Hussein, but whatever. Scary man. What I mean by this is that they have decided if Congress or the Senate disagrees with a policy they want to implement, they simply use executive order trump card in order to ram policies down the American people's throats. Aside from the grammatical errors, which I might actually be making this bet sound better by correcting them because I know what he's trying to say. But, for one thing, so apparently using executive orders equals terrorism. Find me the, I believe it's Maslow's definition is the technical one. Basically a technical definition of terrorism that would say that. Not your own definition that you just made up. Moreover, he's not just going, oh, I'm going to write this legislation with executive order, because that's not what an executive order is. Executive orders have to do with the implementation of laws. They don't have to deal with what the law is. That's Congress's job, and I recommend you read Article 1 and Article 2 of the U.S. Constitution. Going onward. Whatever happened to common sense for the leaders that we, the people, have elected this country? We have no Winston Churchills. Well, he was from Great Britain, so he wasn't elected in our country. Or Douglas MacArthur's leading us. Douglas MacArthur was never an elected official, to my knowledge. Maybe he was, but last time I checked, what most people know him for, he was a general. Those aren't elected. When terrorists attacked us, we apologized for being attacked. That whole apology tour, I don't think you can label it the way you are, but whatever. It's not like factual accuracy or living in reality is something that you're very good at. Let's look at some quotes from MacArthur and Churchill that show true leadership. MacArthur said, "It is fatal to enter any war." This is just quotes up at this point, so I'm not going to read that, but this is kind of genius this person is. I'm going to read a quote from page 134. This is a, hold on a second. This is from his chapter on immigration, which I'll read some of the chapter titles so you can see just what I'm talking about with one of my other critiques of this book. But this is more on the factual accuracy, just outright craziness of this book. The truth is that Mexico is insisting that we take care of its freaking citizens. For one thing, your tone is very angry, but then again, if you watch your videos, you'll know that. You'll know that basically he's in a steroid. Sorry, I'm trying to form the insult in my head before I actually say it. But basically, he's hopped up on steroids, is what I really want to say, because he's a muscle-bound idiot. And here's why. A, he's really muscular, and B, the Mexican government is not existing. We pay for its citizens. For one thing, okay, let's assume all 11 million people, illegal immigrants that are estimated to be in the United States are from Mexico. That's still not the entire population of Mexico. They're coming over here to work. And that's an illegal action. So, unless you want to say the Mexican government is saying, go commit a crime in the United States, go on, you do that. You do that. As Mexican citizens, it's your duty to do that. I don't see how you can even make this argument, even remotely. I really don't. It's not Russia, Africa, or Scotland. Apparently someone watched The Little Rescuers and thought that Africa was a country because, Africa was represented only by one mouse. It is Mexico. What Mexican illegals are doing is just as bad as the Pearl Harbor attack. Fuck it. Let's just keep going. Already in it now. They're killing some of our civilians and officers. They're costing us billions of dollars. It can be argued that our leaders are Benedict Arnolds with the way that they're helping the modern-day invasion. It could be argued that, but then again, you'd be an idiot. I mean, you are the reason why I hate having to discuss illegal immigration, because people assume that I'm a racist because I don't believe in amnesty for illegal immigrants. I don't really like having immigrants in the country, particularly illegal ones in the country, because foreign labor works a lot cheaper than domestic labor. So, there you go. That's why I'm against it, because of the economics. But no, because some moron like you is going to be about race and the other issues. But the Benedict Arnold thing. So basically what you're saying is that Mexico's insisting the United States government pay for its own citizens. Now you're saying that the Mexican government's plotting or is currently engaged in a war with the United States, is sending Mexicans operatives over via illegal immigration, and that our elected officials are generals in the Mexican army, or offered to become generals in the Mexican army. I can't even figure out. There's so many things wrong with that statement. God. Why in the hell should the American people pay... why the hell should American people pay the medical bills of someone who comes over here illegally and drops off their damn baby? I think I should have said sorry just because I'm making you listen to this. This is the main thing I wanted to highlight on how crazy this person is. We did not experience any pleasure when they were conceiving the child, so why should we pay for their pleasure? I still don't know what he's trying to say by this. I'm guessing he's saying that if we have basically, if the woman gets pregnant, and wants to come over here legally. I'm guessing he'd be okay with it if they set a new world record for, you know, a gangbang, and like had the entire population of the United States have sex with this woman. I'm guessing, and then therefore it'd be okay with it. I don't know. I really don't. And this is so dumb. I actually want to throw up in my mouth. But here's the this is the chapter titles. Chapter 1, Just Tell It Like It Is. Chapter 2, Keeping It Real. Chapter 3, Stand Up. Chapter 4, Follies. Chapter 5, Relationships. Chapter 6, UFOs. And brackets, drivers, riders, and pedestrians. Chapter 7, Raising Cain. Chapter 8, Other Aliens. Chapter 9, Building Frankenstein. Chapter 10, The Don't Get It Crowd. Chapter 11, Political Correctness Gone Amok. Chapter 12, Do We Really Want Change? Chapter 13, Global Warming. Chapter 14, Stop the Madness. Chapter 15, Immigration. Chapter 16, The Arizona Law Madness. Chapter 17, The Homosexual Mafia. Chapter 18, Race and Racism. Chapter 19, Justice or Not. Chapter 20, History, Cronyism, Nepotism, and Affirmative Action. Chapter 21, Race and Sports. Chapter 22, The Media is to Blame. Now the thing is, let's go on this chapter on global warming. It starts on page 109 and ends on page 117. So at best, it is 8 pages. 8 pages on global warming is all this person talks about. A issue like that, you can apparently talk about it in 8 issues and get the issue covered in good detail and good breadth and depth and cover it with a complete appropriateness. He spends the majority, like his chapter on the homosexual mafia is over 20 pages, which, you know, it's funny because I honestly believe he's in the closet. But yeah, it's one of the longer chapters in the book. But yeah, so if you're ever looking for a good, like, you know, book to laugh at and a good comedy book, this is it. Whatever Happened to Common Sense? And I'll leave links to the Amazon page and everything else in the description box. Good night, YouTube. Have a nice night.